What's up, everybody? It's Dylan here at MountainOps in Stowe Vermont, getting you up and down the mountain since 1995. We are located just 5 minutes down the road from Stowe Mountain Resort, making us the closest independent shop to Stowe Mountain Resort. We specialize in everything skiing, from alpine skis for the resort, to alpine touring setups, to Nordic skis, and even telemark equipment. We have a full rental shop with fleet skis and high-end demos like blackcrows, Nordica, and volkls. And we also have a full-service tuning shop where you can bring your skis in and get them skiing like new. Our boot rescue guys, Mike and Robbie, are masters of the art of boot fitting and can get your boots fitting perfectly. In addition to all of that, we have a full selection of high-end mountain apparel, including high-end technical wear, like this brand, which you probably haven't heard before, Montura. Montura was founded in Trentino, Italy back in 1999, and ever since then they've been making the highest end technical alpine apparel for the mountains. Everything from mountaineering and ice climbing gear to ski touring to cycling and running, all the way to sailing clothing as well. Every line that they make is of the highest quality, sourcing the best materials and impeccable design and construction. It truly is the ergonomic equipage, as they say. So today I want to talk about a line that I was able to test out last weekend on Mount Washington climbing in Huntington Ravine, and that is the Vertigo line. The Vertigo line is Montura's highest end technical mountain apparel for mountaineering, ice climbing, ski touring, and anything that has to do with getting into technical terrain and requiring the best in weather resistance, breathability, warmth, and comfort, and freedom of movement. I am wearing the 2025-2026 Vertigo Gore-Tex Pro shell. And I have to say that this thing was a dream to wear on a high alpine ice route. This is the best fitting, most ergonomic hard shell I have ever worn. It weighs in at 415 grams in a men's size medium, which is truly exceptionally light, weighing in under a pound for a full 3-layer Gore-Tex Pro hard shell. And it has some really neat features that make it stand out above the rest. I would classify this right in line with the Arc'teryx Alpha LT, which is since discontinued, but it's the closest comparison that I could think of. And that is what I would put this shell right in range with. This is a fully protective Gore-Tex Pro shell, also very similar to the Mammut Nordwand or the Neuronal Lofoten, but at a much lighter weight. This shell is a true alpinist's piece of kit. It features, again, that full 3-layer Gore-Tex Pro with an EPE membrane, so goodbye PFAS, no more PFAS, and it's lighter than ever, and it's equally as protective and super ergonomic and well moving. And a few features that make this jacket stand out from other jackets in its class are the presence of mapped and articulating Gore-Tex stretch panels. These are the waffle fleece panels that are fully waterproof, fully weather resistant. They have a full Gore-Tex waterproof breathable membrane inside, and this waffle stretch pattern allows it to move and stretch and articulate with your body. And so with a breathability rating of 20K waterproofness and 10K breathability, vapor transmission, they are equally as protective as the rest of the garment. You can see that they've placed them in areas that require a little bit of stretch. So right back here, just above the elbow, right on the lower tricep, there's a panel there, and that's on both arms. And then they also have it under the wrist, right here, part of the cuffs. There's also a Velcro adjustment here for fine tuning, but the presence of this, I would almost call it a gator cuff, allows the garment to really stretch and fit perfectly over gloves. Other areas where you can find this Gore-Tex stretch paneling is on the kind of rear back of the hips on the garment as well. And you can feel that there's also a draw cord underneath there with some recessed cord lock here. And so you can tuck that draw cord right up inside, and it goes throughout the entire circumference of the hem. And again, there's the recessed, you can see this black panel right here, where you use the pinch lock and it will release the hem adjustment. But overall, just as far as freedom of movement goes, this jacket moves so nicely. There's also that same Gore-Tex stretch paneling on the hood in multiple spots, and it's very intelligently designed and placed, and it allows this hood to just naturally fit and flex and stretch over your head or helmet and then just stay there. The winds were probably blowing about 50, 60 miles an hour. It was windy, and this hood just stayed on my head. It has a recessed gasket right underneath the stiffened brim here, and that just wraps right around the brim of your helmet or hat or whatever you're wearing on your head, and it fits and stays. It's really a well-designed aspect of this garment. On the back of the hood, you see all the way around, you have the same Gore-Tex stretch panel. There is a hood adjustment here with a draw cord, but I found that I didn't really need to mess with that because of the Gore-Tex stretch, keeping it all tucked away and articulating without the need to adjust the hem. You'll also see on the lower mandible here, there's more of that Gore-Tex stretch fabric, so even when you have the hood completely done up, it allows your head to turn and move any which way without obstructing your vision, and I think that's really, really important. Comfort-wise and fit, this garment is perfectly tailored and fit as in a regular size fit. I typically wear a size medium in most things. Sometimes I need to size up to a large depending on the brand. Things like Patagonia, I'm usually an extra medium. Arc'teryx, I'm very much borderline with the fit of things. With Nerona, some garments I need medium, some I need to size up to a large. Underneath this jacket, I have Montura's Trace Hybrid Vest and their Thermal Grid 2 Maglia Grid Fleece. And these work perfectly in conjunction with each other as a layering system. The Grid Fleece I could probably wear just as a base layer. I am wearing a Smart Wool 250 merino shirt underneath, and you can see that this all fits and works together extremely well. It is super comfortable. I did have to size up to a large in the vest and the Grid Fleece, but I found that it just fits really, really well. They do make a lot of their garments very trim fit and close fitting. It is a European, Italian brand, and so you will have that classic European fit, but their shells are sized very appropriately for layering. And it truly is, their motto, the ergonomic equipage, really rings true when you put these garments on. I really, things like Patagonia and Mammut, those brands are great, but they do not fit like a Montura. I'm gonna find it hard to go back to other brands after putting this on. It is truly remarkable. It fits extremely well. I think the torso length is really great. They have a drop hem in the back to provide enough coverage in the back, while leaving the hem high enough, but not too short in the front to be able to work really well with a harness. The double zipper here, again, indicative of a technical climbing and mountaineering garment. I would not hesitate to also use this as my primary ski touring shell. It just works so well. A few other features of this jacket that I really, really like and thought were really interesting are the presence of this reflective laminate here. It reflects really well in the dark, and I definitely had to use this garment in the dark. And being able to just see things better. The cuffs are part of a garment that can kind of blend in or be difficult to see in the dark, and being able to have that little visual cue on it was really nice, and it stood out when I was moving in the dark. It was awesome. Kind of cool. Some other features, the chest pocket here. The zipper is kind of small, but the pocket is decently sized. You know, I didn't find myself wanting for anything. I can take my Smith Wildcat sunglasses and make them truly disappear inside the pocket. That's great. I believe I stored snacks and my pack of electronics in there while I was on the move, and it worked great. It's not an excessively large pocket. You will see that it does have a little bit of that overlapping fabric up top, and that's to keep that zipper pull recessed and tucked away and streamlined when not in use, and I think that's a really nice feature as well. And you've seen some other brands like Patagonia doing that on their M10 Storm Anorak jacket, which is new for this year. The hand pockets are quite sizable. I was able to fit my hands in here with any size glove that I was wearing, and they're nicely placed. They're put a little bit higher up so that you can wear your harness up over the jacket while still retaining use of the hand pockets as well. But they're not so high up that they're awkward to use. A lot of climbing garments will put just 2 chest pockets here and none down here, like the Arc'teryx Alpha SV. And I really like being able to have a place to put my hands whenever I'm out there. So I think this jacket does that really, really well. These zipper pulls are quite nice. They have a Montura emblazoned logo there, as well as a nice little grip pull. So I think that's quite nice. The attention to detail on this jacket is really second to none. You know, I used to think that Arc'teryx, nothing would beat Arc'teryx, but I don't know. I think this Montura brand is really giving them a run for their money. Looking at the side zips, they are absolutely massive. I don't think I've really seen a jacket with bigger side zips than the Montura here. There are 2-way zips, and these zippers are quite small and dainty. And these things are never easy to use on any jacket. I always fiddle with it a little bit, but I find that the Montura zippers work quite well, and they are pretty easy to use. It is a very much smaller gauge, still watertight zipper. You can see that watertight laminate there on the top. And yeah, it's really a remarkable piece. So I'm going to take a quick spin around before moving on to the next thing. And there you have it. This is the Montura Vertigo GTX Pro. That's Gore-Tex Pro shell jacket for mountaineering, ice climbing, alpinism, anything that takes you into technical terrain in the mountains. The next piece of kit I want to discuss is also part of Montura's Vertigo line, and that is the Vertigo Allround Softshell pant. This is a very trim-fitting, very minimalistic piece of gear that worked so well for not only the ski touring approach, but also while ice climbing en route. The only thing I had to wear on my lower section was the Vertigo Allround Stretch Softshell pant, and it's super weather protective. It was incredibly breathable, and the freedom of movement is really spectacular. It feels like wearing a pair of leggings. The last piece of the puzzle here is the Vertigo GTX Pro hard shell over pant. It's a full side zip, full Gore-Tex Pro pant, inspired directly after the Vertigo GTX Pro jacket. This is the full system. I actually didn't have to wear these pants. The weather was good enough, and if I don't have to wear Gore-Tex Pro pants, I'll just wear my soft shells, and that's what I did. But I think the color scheme and the design and the whole fit together is pretty fantastic. So overall, I think the Montura brand is doing something incredibly unique within the outdoor space. I think it's really going to take over as one of the most recognized and important brands in the outdoors, and they are really taking it up a notch. So keep your eyes out for Montura stuff. We have it here at MountainOps here in Stowe, Vermont. A little bit tough to find these days here in the US, but keep your ear to the ground, check out our website, and take a look at some of the items that they have. It's truly spectacular. Clocking in at $1,070, this is truly a next level shell. If you're looking for something above and beyond, brands like Arc'teryx and Nerona, I think Montura is the place to go. The pants retail for $8.90 and the soft shell pants retail for about $3.50. It's not cheap, but is it better than brands like Arc'teryx? I'll let you decide that.